This conference will now be recorded.
We stop at the case study.
Yeah. Hypothesis testing with respect to our
Yeah,
Independence Day offer and your
yeah, right. Christmas and Independence offer.
okay. Okay. So let me share my screen and let me start my recording as well. So we are discussing about this particular case study, that is your hypothesis testing. So first step. So each and everything I'm going to write with respect to step, you should understand what I'm writing, and based on that we are going to solve this particular hypothesis testing two sample t-test. Two sample t-test. Under this two sample t-test, so when do we go for two sample t-test? Generally, if your output is continuous,
Is continuous. Output contains and two discrete values. Input two
yeah,
discrete
two
values.
discrete input values, then we are going for two sample t-test. Yes. So now based on that particular thing, first step, yeah, first step is what? If your output is continuous, what is your first step? Normality test. We should do your normality test. So yes, under this we should have two phases. One is null hypothesis and another one is alternate hypothesis. So null hypothesis for your normality test is your data is normal. Your data is normal. And for alternate hypothesis, your data is not normal. So your data is normal is your null hypothesis. Your data is not normal is alternate hypothesis. If your data is not normal, you should take some action. You should take some action to make your data normal. That is the reason here alternate hypothesis is data is not normal. Clear for everyone? What is the first step? You're checking for your data is following normal distribution or not. Under that, you're checking whether your data is normal, null hypothesis, or your data is not normal. If your data is not normal, you should take some action. Take some action. Under this, it says it is you should take some action. So that is the reason it is your alternate hypothesis. Now write down this step. Write down this step. And based on this, we are going to discuss something called as, did I explain you about p-value?
No.
No, right? So today I'm going to explain you about how to check your data with respect to whether it is following normal distribution or not. So consider that this is your x-axis and y-axis, x-axis and y-axis. Approximately, if your data is like this, as I told you, right? So we have used this QQ plot. So approximately, if your data is following this normal straight line, then your data follows normal distribution. Suppose if your data is like this, is it normal distributed?
No.
No. So this is called as your not normally distributed, and if it is approximately close to this straight line, it is called as normal distribution. So
Distribution.
with respect to this, you should conclude based on your p-value. P-value stands for your probability value. P-value stands for your probability value. So what is this probability value is? So if you are talking with respect to 95% confident, another 5% chance that you may go wrong. If you are talking with respect to 90% confident, another 10% chance that you may go wrong. So this p-value should be always, if you want to accept your null hypothesis, write down like this. P high, this is a quote. This is, you will not get this anywhere in your any machine learning or any statistics books. You will not get it. So P high, null, fly, null, fly. P high, null, fly. For example, if your P value is greater than 0.05, it is, you should accept your null hypothesis. Null fly means your null, you should accept it, means null is flying in happy. So if your p value, that is your probability value, is greater than 0.05, it indicates that you're accepting your null hypothesis. If your p value is less than 0.05, you can write a quote like this: p low, null, go. Means you should go out of your null and you should accept your alternate hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis. If your p value is greater than 0.05, it is p high, null, fly. If your p value is less than 0.05, it is p low, null, go. P low means p is less than 0.05, null should go, means you should accept your alternate hypothesis. This is just a quote to remember your p high, null, fly, p low, null, go. Write down this quote.
Hey, Dipesh.
Yeah.
So P, okay, so P is less than 0.005, 0.05. Then you're
Yes.
telling low null value should go.
Can you tell me once again?
If it is a low, I mean P is less than 0.05, then
Yes.
the value of P should be like low null value should go out.
Not null value should go up. You should accept your alternate hypothesis. Means null should be gone. Null is gone.
Okay, should go on.
You should accept your alternate hypothesis. If your p value is greater than 0.05, you should accept your null hypothesis, H naught.
Except a null hypothesis.
Yes,
Okay.
accept null hypothesis. Please be on mute.
Also.
So remember, first step is normality test. Under this you have two. One is null hypothesis, another one is alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis says data is normal, and alternate
No,
hypothesis says data is not normal. Not
no, no.
normal. Now, with respect to your p-value, I told you if your p-value is greater than 0.05, you should accept your null hypothesis, means your data is normal. If your p-value is less than 0.05, it says that your data is not normal. You should accept your alternate hypothesis. Clear, everyone? Write down these steps. P high, null fly, P low, null go. Like this, you can write it. H naught, H A.
Is a 0.05 the standard value, or it may vary?
It is a standard thumb rule. It is a standard thumb rule. Okay, first step we are going to check for your data, that is your normality test. So let me just open your data set in your R and let me just try to. So who is this? Waiting for name? Okay, fine. So now coming to this step, I'm going to open your data set from your system. Whatever the quote I said, that it is nothing but your P low, null go, P high, null fly. You should remember that if you want to just learn in an easier way. I'm going to take this promotion data set. Okay, sorry. I should have opened in this window, import data set. So let me open the code here. Hypothesis, sorry. Hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing. It is opening a file. I'll be asking you a question, what it does, each and everything you should tell me. So what does this line of code does? Line number 3.
Reading the data set X1.
No. It is your package. It is your package I've already installed.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
using that package. I'm using that package into my RStudio library, right? So I told you, this bringing package to your module, that is your library function does. Library function does. If I want to execute, what is the command? Rather than clicking on this run button, what is the command? What is the command? Control enter. Control enter, right? To run. It is not alt enter, it is control enter. So you should remember these small things. Control enter. So now I've read this this thing, but I don't think so in my system it is working because I'm not installed Java. So let me give it a try. So this line, what is this line of code does?
Promotion is equal to reading the file, read Excel file.
Yes, this is nothing but promotion is a data set name or a variable name. I'm creating a new variable called as promotion. I'm reading an Excel file. Read underscore Excel is a function to read your Excel file from your local system. So this file dot choose, yes, this file dot choose will open a pop-up window. So just control enter if I run, this will open a pop-up window and we can choose our path. See here, this is a pop-up window, it appears. You can choose your file, that is your data set. So I'm going to choose this file called as promotion. Click open. Click open. So here you can see that your promotion is having 450 records. 450 records and 4 variables. 450 records and 4 variables. So this is your interest rate, something and all is there. I want to rename this columns. So what I'll do is, I'm not interested in this first 2 columns. I want to remove these first 2 columns because I want only 2 columns. One is your Independence Day offer and another one is your Christmas offer. Another one is your Christmas offer. So what I'll do is, yes, what does this line of code does? Line number 9.
Attaching the data set. So next time you need to call the data set name.
Every
Just call
time
the
you need
column.
not have to call your promotion dollar. So that is the reason I'm going to use this attach function and attaching my promotion to my local RStudio. Now I'm choosing this column names from promotion. For example, here, see here. Here I'm going to write call names. Open parenthesis, promotion. Call names promotion, if I write it and if I execute it, it will display you the column names, whatever there is in your data set. Whatever there in your data set. But I don't want to use this same data set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop two columns. I don't want this credit card spend dollar type of promotion. I want only third column and fourth column. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that. How can I drop that? How can I drop that? Or else what I can do is here. So credit, I'll see, I'm taking this column names of promotion data set. I'm replacing those names. These names are there, credit card spent dollar type of promotion, as whatever the name I want. I'll just put it as CC. I'll just put it as CC. I'll just put it this as your P type. P type. And third one, I'm going to put it as Independence Day offer. Independence I'll put. And fourth
So you
one,
are renaming the
yes, I'm
column
renaming the
name?
column names. Yes, I'm renaming the columns.
Okay, I
Here
thought
I'm going
you
to
said drop the column. Okay.
no, drop the column. It is renaming the columns. Here I'm going to put it as Christmas. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this line.
Oh, one
And
second,
you
one
can,
second. Don't run. Please don't run. So what is this C? It will be considered as C. The column name will replace with CC and P dot type. This
yes,
first two.
CC first column, second column is P dot T type, third column is Independence Day, fourth column will be replaced with
What
your
is this
Christmas.
C?
See, if you want to write it with respect to your all the columns, you're not renaming
Okay.
with only one record. You're renaming with respect to all the columns, so you can use it as C. It is something like your list. You're replacing all the column names. Count. You can call it as count of all the columns with
Count.
respect to your count, in the sense it is not the exact count. Count is a different, here you can call it as list. You're
Mm-hmm.
taking with respect to this C and you're replacing all the columns, all the column names.
This I understood, but bit doubt in that C only. Okay.
See, C is
Then
something
run.
like, see, if you want to write it a single column with respect to only one column, you need not have to use C. Because you are renaming many columns, at a time you are renaming many columns, you can use C. If you don't use C, it will never work with respect to this.
So it's a
Latest
user-defined
version,
number name. I mean, or
if you
it
see
will be hard
latest
to
version,
detect C
see,
only.
let me just run this. Latest version, if you run this, see, you're going to get it as error. So
Getting
if you
error.
use this C, it will consider that you are renaming with respect to all these columns. Not only renaming, it can, if you want to access all these columns also, you can directly write it as like this. But I'm
Simply,
renaming,
Can you write anything else also? T, E, anything?
if you want to write it as D,
Instead of C, I'm just seeing it's like
what is
user
this?
can change. Could not
Yogesh,
define
Okay.
function.
Yeah, it is a
hello.
function. Obviously,
Oh,
it is a function.
C is a
It is your,
function and these are the parameters expecting. Okay, got it.
these are the parameters and the variable names. Inbuilt function, yes.
Got it.
And these are nothing but your new column
Parameter
names.
values, right?
New column names.
Oh
That
yeah,
is your
okay. New
parameters.
column name. Okay.
New column.
Got it.
Now you can just rename this, and you can next, if you run this column names dot promotion, column names promotion, you'll be getting the new names whatever we have displayed, we have written here. So let me run this. Okay, I need to change it to C function. Now, if you see this call names of promotion, you can see that the new names are CC, P type, Independence Day, Christmas. Earlier it was something, now it is something. Now if you open this, CC, P type, Independence Day, Christmas. So now the data set is this. Now what is this data set is? Forget about these two data set. Earlier your data was like this, and also we have got it in this way. So now what is this understood as? First customer in Independence Day offer, he has spent $1989 and $1272 in Christmas. Second customer has spent $1808 in Independence Day and Christmas offer he has spent $1,250. So totally we are having how many customers? We are having 250 customers for Independence Day, 250 customers for Christmas offer. So totally we are having 500 customers. Independence Day customers are in this column. Christmas offer customers are in this column. Now, what is this? What I'm doing here? Promotion, line number 14. What am I doing here? Ratnesh, I'll come to that point. See, it is 250
Passing
plus
the
250 is
values.
fine. Yeah, 250. 1 second. Ratnesh is having a doubt. So 250 plus 250 should be 500. But why are we getting here 450?
The
Please be on
total
mute.
number of
Just,
the
yes,
total
I'll
number
come
of
to that
records
point.
in the total
Come
number
to
of
the.
records in the data sets is 450.
I'm coming to that point only. Please have patience. 450 observations is your record is having in your data set, but actually we should have 250 Independence Day customers and Christmas customers. So if you go to this drag down after 250, see, until this point your data is having Independence Day 250 customers, Christmas 250 customers. So from again it is standard Christmas promotion, all these things. So these two are something like your raw data. These two are something like your raw data. You can remove these two columns. You should only choose your first 250 records and third column and fourth column. Got it, Ratnesh? Now it is your raw data. I'm just using the raw data and I'm making use of in your analysis part. So now what I'm doing here is I'm going to choose promotion, that is nothing but your data set name. Open anything written in your square parenthesis is rows comma columns. Anything written in your square parenthesis is rows comma columns. Remember this. Now promotions I'm writing here within square parenthesis I'm writing rows comma column. See here again I'm not choosing only one record because I'm choosing multiple records. I'm using a function called as C as a list, and 1 to 250 rows, 1 to 250 rows, and I should choose 1 2. See here I should not choose 1 and 2, I should choose 3 and 4 because 1 and 2 is having junk data. I'm using third column and fourth column. So if I run this, your data set will become like this. Your data set will change from 250 observations of two variables. See, I'm going to rename the same name. Yes, Independence Day offer and your Christmas offer is in your third column and fourth column. I'm going to choose that. 3, 4. See, as I told you, anything written in your, this is your rows and this is your columns. I'm going to execute this line of code and show you how your data looks. Are you able to see the changes in your global environment window? 250 observations, two variables.
Sorry, Yogesh, is supposed to be 0 to 250 or 1 to 250?
1 to 250, right? It is not your Python. In your Python, the index starts from 0. In your R, it starts from 1.
Okay, okay.
See here. Now we are having only two columns, that is from 1 to 250 records. 1 to 250 records. Now, attach of promotion. I've already attached it. If you want, you can write it. Once again, it's up to you. Now, the first step. Now you need to check whether your Independence Day column and your Christmas Day column data is following normal distribution or not. Normal distribution or not. So with respect to your interest rate waiver, sorry, it is not your interest rate waiver, it is your Independence Day, yes, Independence Day. So here, so if you want to check whether your data is following normal distribution or not, there is a function called as Shapiro.test. Shapiro.test. If you run this, you are going to get whether it is following normal distribution or not. Shapiro.test is a function to test your data is following normal distribution or not. Under which column you are specifying, that is your parameter here. Which parameter you are checking, that should be your column name. Now I'm going to use this Independence Day column and check whether it is following normal distribution or not. See here. What is your p-value?
0.
0.22. Is it greater than 0.05 or is it less than 0.05?
Greater than.
Sorry, greater.
It is greater than 0.05. P high, null fly.
No.
Null fly. What you should accept? You should accept your null hypothesis or alternate hypothesis is my question.
Null.
Accept null hypothesis.
Null hypothesis, not just hypothesis. Null hypothesis, because your p-value is greater than 0.05, you should accept. What is your null hypothesis? I have written before this. What is your null hypothesis for this test? Your data is normal, right? Data is
Yes.
normal.
Normal.
So now you need not have to take any action because your data is following normal distribution. No action required. No action required. So this is one way to check your data is following normal distribution or not. So this is the function to calculate your data is following normal distribution or not. So let us check it out in other. Yeah.
Yogesh, there's one more function you told last week regarding the p norm.
That is your probability. QQ norm.
QQ norm.
QQ norm will display whether it is following normal distribution or not. That is your picture you're getting.
Okay.
Here you are going to get with respect to your p-value.
Okay.
I've written that also. See here, line number 21, I've written that also. I'm coming to that point. So this is an additional point. If you want, you can write it or it is up to you. But this point is mandatory. Line number 19 is mandatory to check whether your data is following normal distribution or not.
Yogesh, this is Bharat.
Yes. Yes, Bharat.
No, we have run that function and we got this p-value, but basically, do you have any equation or formula to calculate this value, or every time we need to run this function to get this p-value?
Every time?
Do we need to run this function to get this p-value, or do you have
Yes.
any equation or calculation for this?
No, nothing. You should run it. You should run it.
Normally, what that mean? P-value means what?
P-value means your probability value. Probability value in the sense.
Yeah.
So now I told you, right? Your data is normal. Okay.
Yeah.
Your data is normal means how much confident that your data is normal. I'm 95% confident, or I'm 95% probability that your data is normal.
Normal.
But remaining 5%, it might not be.
Might be.
Yes, that is the reason
Correct.
I've taken a threshold of 0.05. That is your probability value, Bharat.
Okay, so 0.05 means it's a 5% that we are not
Chances
sure of
you
the
go
data.
wrong. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Probability value. P value stands for probability value.
Okay.
Bhupendra, that W is nothing but your Wilkie value. It is of no use. See, if you run algorithms, you'll be getting multiple values. You cannot read each and every value. Based on P value, you should conclude whether it is following normal distribution or not. This W is dummy value with respect to your Wilk test. It is also called as Shapiro-Wilk test. This is your W value. That's it. But you should concentrate on P value.
Yogesh?
Yes.
Yeah, regarding the 19th and 21st, right? Either I can determine using that QQ norm, or I can go with the Shapiro test.
Actually, you should go with respect to line number 19 only. But this is additional line I've written because whether you should check in, if you want to check like this also. You can check it out.
Graphical representation.
Yes, graphical representation. You can cross verify whether your data is following normal distribution or not. That is the reason I've written. This is not included as a part of your hypothesis. Just for your cross verification, you can run this. See, I'm going to run this line number 20. So if I run this line number 20, I'm going to get a blank window like this, because why I'm using here is because if I close this, I'm going to get an error because I've zoomed in my RStudio. Directly. If I run this QQ norm function, I'm not getting. Okay, let me just change it to Independence Day. So if I run this, error in plot, figure margins too large, because I've zoomed in my RStudio, I'm not getting. So that is the reason I'm going to open an external window by using Windows function. And then I'm running this Independence Day QQ norm. If I run this, I'm going to get a plot on my window. Is it following normal distribution?
Yes.
Yes. Your p-value also says
Yes.
that your p-value is greater than 0.05. And this also says that your data is following normal distribution. Just to cross verify, I've used this. But you should depend always on your p-value. Always on your p-value. So I've written here p-value is 0.2246 is greater than 0.05. So p high null fly, it follows normal distribution. It follows normal distribution. So now I need to check for my second column as well. Second column is nothing but your Christmas. Independence Day is done. Now Christmas. Shapiro.test Christmas. I'm going to use it and check whether it is following normal distribution or not. See here. How much is your p-value? 0.1916. Is it greater than 0.05?
Yes.
Yes, it is greater than 0.05. If it is greater than 0.05, p high null fly, you should accept your null hypothesis. So null hypothesis says your data is
Normally distributed.
yes, no action required. No action required. Yes. Now what is the next step?
Check the variance.
Step is done. So next step is done. Okay. Now you are considering with respect to this. So I'll try to attach the same. I'll try to convert this case study slightly in order to make sure that you understand in an easier way. So consider this case study as this is Bharat and this is Balakrishna. Okay. Now Bharat is using his credit card to purchase some products. Balakrishna is using his credit card to purchase some products. Okay. In the year 2018, he might have done 250 transactions. Balakrishna has done 250 transactions. Try to correlate my example with respect to this example. So you might have spent some amount, whatever the amount that has been in your Excel sheet, like this. Now you are checking, Manjunath, it is not your data cleaning phase. It is just your whether your data is following normal distribution or not. You are checking whether your data is following normal distribution or not. Okay. Now coming to this point, Bharat 250 transactions he has done in 2018. Balakrishna has done 2018 transactions. Now you need to check whether Bharat has spent more or Balakrishna has spent more. This is your case study. So now you will first step, you'll check whether your Bharat's transaction is following normal distribution or with respect to Bala's transaction is following normal distribution. You came to know that both of them are following normal distribution. This step is done. Step 1 is done. Now next step is you should check whether Bharat's and Balakrishna's variance is same. Variance means how much are they varying? How much are they varying? Are they spending equally? Equally in the sense I'm not talking with respect to average. I'm talking with respect to how often they are spending or how much they are spending with respect to variance. With respect to variance. So in this case, second step, your null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis, again you should write. Again you should write null hypothesis for this step and alternate hypothesis for this step. Now I'm going to write it in simple way. For the second step, you should write it as variances of both the transactions are equal. Both the transactions are equal. What will be your alternate hypothesis? What is your alternate hypothesis? Variance
Not
of
equal.
Not
yes,
equal.
both the
Yes, not
transactions are not equal. Are not equal. You should write it in this way. Now write down this null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis for second test. That is your variance test. Is it done?
Yes.
Okay. Now we need to test for your variance test. So variance test we are going to test with respect to, there is a single function called as var.test. Var.test. Var.test, you need to specify both the column names. I've changed my column names here. It is your Independence Day, comma. What is the second column name? Christmas. Independence Day, comma, Christmas. Right. So you should pass. It is not your Shapiro.test. Shapiro.test is for your normality distribution, Bhupendra. I'm checking for variance test. Am I not audible?
Audible.
Hello? Audible, right? So Manjunath, check it out from your end. So Shapiro completed. Shapiro is completed, but you should test for your second step, variance test. So variance test, val.test is a function to test whether your variance are equal or not equal. So I need to pass val.test function, and I need to pass both the column names, Independence Day column and Christmas column, and then I should check whether they are following equal variance or not. So if I run this, I'm going to get a p-value here. Here I'm going to get a p-value. So you should see that p-value is how much? P-value is how much? So here your p-value says that it is 0.653. 0.653. It is nothing but it is greater than 0.05. 0.653 is greater than 0.05. P high, null fly. You should accept your null hypothesis. So what was your null hypothesis for this step? What was your null hypothesis for this step? We have just written, just 5 minutes back, we have written.
Normality.
No.
The
Variances are
variance
equal, right?
Variance are equal.
Yes. So your variances are equal for both the transactions. So you should accept your null hypothesis. So now you came to know that your second step is also clear. Second step is also, this is done, this is done. This is done, this is done. What about next?
Check for mean.
Check for means in the sense either you should choose this one or this one. That is my question, because this is dependent on these two, whether we need to choose A or B. Answer is written in the slide itself. You should just read it. What should I test it? I should test it for what? Check for means what? Is your input less than 3 or greater than 2?
Less than 3.
means you should choose this 2 sample t-test. Compare means using 2 sample t-test. So same Bharat and Balakrishna was there. So you came to know that both of them are following normal distribution, and you came to know that both of them variances are also equal. Variances are equal. Now you are checking their means. Means average. So average transactions of Bharat is equal to Bala's average transaction. Getting my point? You are checking average transaction, whatever Bharat has spent is equal to Balakrishna's transactions, whatever he has spent in 2018. That is your null hypothesis. Null hypothesis for this step is this. Both average transactions with respect to Independence Day and Christmas are equal. And for alternate hypothesis, it is not equal. Not equal. Write down this step with respect to your null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis.
We just check only the null hypothesis only, no? Because both are less than 0.0, greater than 0.05.
Why it is like that? If it is less than 0.05, then you should check that also, right? That is the reason you are writing this, right? That is the reason you are writing this. Both average transactions are equal. Both average transactions are not equal. So write down the step. I'll show you how to test it, what it is. Now I'm going to my RStudio. I'm going to implement 2 sample t-test. 2 sample t-test and checking whether average transactions of both. Yes.
You are in RStudio only, no? Just now.
Yes, I'm in RStudio only, right?
Are you writing it? Because I see only the RStudio screen only. I not see anything you're writing.
I'm in RStudio only now.
Okay.
Yogesh, have you run that var.test?
Yeah, var.test I've run long back, right? That is the reason you got your 0.65.
Your screen is not refreshed actually.
1 second, let me refresh it then.
See, we lost you.
Oh.
From the point where we couldn't see all this.
Oh, you did not see this?
Yeah, we couldn't see.
Now you are able to see what I'm writing?
Yeah, now we can see. Now what you're writing.
Okay.
Can you run it again?
Yeah, I'm explaining once again. I'm explaining once again. So, with respect to your variance test, you need to check whether Independence Day variance is equal to Christmas variance. If it is equal, it is null hypothesis. If it is not equal, it is alternate hypothesis. So with respect to that, there is a function called as var.test is there, and you have to pass your both the column names Independence Day and Christmas, and you should run it. If you run this, you are going to get a value of p value that is 0.653. 0.653.
What is the F and numdef?
See, this is under, as I told you that if you run this, you'll be getting multiple. This is your F statistics value. It is of not importance. See, always you should see with respect to this one. This is called as your p value, and if you see this is called as your DF, degrees of freedom. You need not have to worry about this. This is your numerical degrees of freedom. See, this is something like I've explained you the t distribution, right? When we explained about t distribution, I explained about degrees of freedom is nothing but n minus 1. Hope you remember that.
Yes.
Yes, that is what it is, degrees of freedom. But you need not have to worry about those things. You should only concentrate on p-value. See, if you run some algorithms, you'll be getting multiple values. Whatever is important, you should concentrate, because if you see this, it will not display anything. It will just display. So I'm having 250 records. Out of 250, 250 minus 1 is 249. It will never give you any indication. Do we consider this in this future algorithms? Means what do you mean by that, Ratnesh? No. So this is purely your hypothesis testing is purely separate, and each and every topics are different. So when you do this, it is independent of anything. When you do something, that is independent of that thing. So this is only for your this case study we are using. It's not dummy values. For this particular case study, you're getting these values. You need not have to worry about those things. You should only see about p-value. Yes.
So this showing p-value is 0.653.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the p-value is, I mean, it's about to 0.05.
Yes.
But I want to know this value 0.653 is a combination. I mean, it's coming from this two column.
Yes, obviously it is coming from these two
But
columns.
how are you differing? How are you? I mean, how we will differ that? It's equal or it's not equal?
What equal, not equal? See,
As
as I told you, see, as
the
I
transaction are equal or not?
yeah, based on your p-value, this is your thumb rule. So if it is greater than 0.05, that is what I explained you in hypothesis testing. If it is p-value is greater than 0.05, you should accept your null hypothesis. So that is the reason every step you should write your null hypothesis. What is null hypothesis? What is alternate? If your p-value is greater than 0.05, your variances are equal. If you're less than 0.05, your variances are not equal, like that. This is standard thumb rule you should follow. This is a standard thumb rule. Now this function var.test will calculate your variance. So this p-value is only for your variance one, not for normality one. This is only for your variance test.
Okay.
Now, so now you should check whether Independence Day is having more sales or Christmas is having more sales. Before that, we need to check null hypothesis for that step and alternate step. So now I should write. So average sales or average transactions of Independence Day offer is equal to Christmas offer. This is my null hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis is average sales of Independence Day is not equal to Christmas offer. It is not equal here, it is equal here. Write down this step. So then I'm going to implement a test called as two sample t test. Two sample t test.
Yogesh, this is Bharat.
Yes, Bharat.
Sorry for the interruption. In the previous that variance test,
yes,
after getting the probability value in the console, the 95% confident interval, the below there are some values.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, that one. What that means?
So this is your average weight values. So if you want to do it manually, you should see all those things. This is your confidence interval value. So confidence interval we have calculated using a z value, right?
Yes, correct.
So z table. So if you use these two columns, yes, x minus mu divided by sigma, right? If you use these two values, you are going to get a z value of this much. So this much. So it is like that. So with respect to your 95% confidence interval, your data says that it is 82% achievable. 82% achievable, like that. So that is the reason you should only go with p-value, because you cannot explain each and everything to your client, neither to your stakeholders or to your business. So only thing is just how did you take the decision? For decision making, only you should go with p-value, not with respect to any other values. This p-value, as I
And
told you, probability is something like your heart and soul.
correct. And below the ratio of variances.
Ratio of variances in the sense how much is that percentage of variance with respect to these two columns? How much are they varying?
Okay.
If it was, suppose, if it was less than 0.05, then it would have been more variance.
Correct. The variance would have been increased.
Variance would have been increased.
Okay.
When I explained you variance and standard deviation, I give an example of student, right? First semester, second semester, third, like this. So if it was this one or this one, you told me about this one is better because they are maintaining consistency in their result.
Yeah, variance is less, so it is better. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Yogesh.
Yes, but everything you should be based on your decision should be on your p-value. Decision should be based on your p-value.
So Yogesh, I have one doubt here.
Yes.
Here in this case, we have p-value greater than 0.05. So
Yes.
if it is vice versa, I mean, if the value is lesser than that, then
yes, I'll show you that also. We'll be getting that step also in next steps and all. You'll be seeing very soon now what we should do, what action has to be taken. I'll be showing that as well. Yes, so null hypothesis for both normality test and variance is accepted now. So next step is you should go for your next step, that is your checking for your average, check for means. For with respect to check for means, we should go for two sample t-test. For two sample t-test, there is a function called as t.test. See here, t.test. Are you able to see this t.test?
Yes.
Yes, I need to change my column names. I'll change it to Independence Day. Independence Day.
Christmas Day.
Christmas. Independence Day, comma.
So this we are doing for the sample t-test.
Yeah, two sample t-test, this step.
Okay.
I'm doing for this step. Compare means using two sample t-test. Now, Christmas year. See, apart from passing your t.test function, I'm passing the two parameters, that is your two columns. Apart from these two columns, I'm also passing something called as alternative is equal to two-sided. So what is this alternative is equal to two-sided means? You are checking for whether it is equal to or whether it is not equal to, because you are checking whether Independence Day transaction is equal to Christmas transaction, or you're checking with respect to Independence Day transaction is not equal to or Christmas. So that is the reason you are checking for both those cases here. So you should write it as two-sided alternative hypothesis. Two-sided alternative hypothesis. If you are checking only for next step, I'm going to show you that as well. I'm going to show you that as well. If you're checking only for greater than or lesser than, that also I'm going to show you. So alternative is equal to two-sided. And here I'm specifying what is my confidence level. So I'm going to give it as my confidence level should be 95% confidence interval. 95% confidence interval 0.95. If you want to make it as 99% confidence interval, you should write it as 0.99. If you want to write it as 90% confidence interval, you should write it as 90. Or else you can just remove this, and in latest version your default value works. So if you don't use confidence level, it will automatically take it as default value as as what? 95%. 95%. So if you don't pass this, again it will take with respect to your default value. But if you want to specify alternative, you should use alternative. I'm going to tell you why did I use alternative there. If you want to change it to greater, I'm going to show it in the next case study. I can change this alternative to greater or lesser, or I can give my confidence interval value as 0.95 or 0.99. I can change it accordingly. But I have removed here because I don't want to use all those things, because I'm going to get a default value of 95% confidence interval. So there is a function called as t.test, and you should pass your both the column names, that is Independence Day and Christmas. Both the column called as Independence Day and Christmas.
This t.test is a standard function, you know.
Yeah,
Like
t.test is a standard function. It's an inbuilt function. You cannot change it.
This is under which package it is?
It is in a base package itself. Once you install R and R Studio base package only, we are having all these steps, all these packages.
Okay, one more thing, Yogesh. Now you're using the t.test and the independence and you're finding for both null and not null also, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Instead of doing the above p var test and the normality test, also can we go directly to this function t.test?
You can go to, yeah, you can go to that test also. You can directly
jump to.
You can directly jump into any test. There is no mandate, but I'm showing with respect to the process. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
See, once you are ready, consider that you're working for 1 year in data science. You'll not do all those things. You'll not do all those things. You'll directly jump into whatever you want, because as you are a beginner, I'm explaining you each and every single line.
Yeah. Right. Correct. We should know.
Yes. Yes, Bharat. It is nothing but I'm checking for my 2 sample t-test, Bharat. See here, I'm checking this step. Check for means means nothing but your average. So you're checking using your 2 sample t-test, because you're having only 2 inputs less than 3, only Independence Day and your Christmas you're having. So that is the reason you're checking for these 2 columns. That is the reason you're going for 2 sample t-test. In 2 sample t-test, there is a function called as t.test. So you can use this t.test function and you can pass your column 1, column 2. If you pass this, it will going to test your 2 sample t-test. Is it clear, Bharat? This t.test is nothing but your inbuilt function. Your inbuilt function to do your 2 sample t-test. To do your 2 sample t-test.
Yes, got it.
Okay.
And the confident interval, we need to mention it in the function itself. How much
if it see, default is always 95% confidence interval. If you want to change the default value to 90 or 99 or 85, then you can use that optionals in your parameters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it.
Now, coming to this point. So you have run this t.test, you got your p value. You got your p value. So what does your p value says here is 0.02. So now, until this point, we were getting it as greater than 0.05. Is your p value 0.02 greater than 0.05 or less than?
Less than.
It's less than.
It is here less than 0.05. If your p value is less than, means p low, null, go. Means you should accept your alternate hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis. Right? So what was your alternate hypothesis? Just now we have written 5 minutes back.
Variances of both transactions.
Not variances.
Both transactions are not equal.
Both transactions, average transactions of both the transactions are not equal. Independence Day sales and your Christmas Day sales are not equal. So you should check. Now next, what is the next step? In your slide, it is not there. In your slide, It is not there. Can you tell me what is the next step?
Compare mean using one-way ANOVA.
No, wrong. That is different. This is totally different. So you came to know that Bharat's transaction is not equal to Bala's transaction. Now, next step is what? You have
Need to do
compared.
the
Now, no, you have
adjustments.
compared it. Do the
Need
adjustments.
to do adjustments.
No adjust. See, simple example I'll tell you. Consider that Bharat and Bala has written exam. You came to know that both of them have not scored same marks. Will you adjust the marks according to Bharat and Bala, whatever they need it, or what you will do?
Go for tuition.
Go. See, that is different story. Going for tuition, but already result has come, right?
We need to choose which is better. Or
Yes, you need to choose whether Bharat has scored first rank or Bala has scored first rank. That is what you should check, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So you need to check now whether Independence Day transaction is more or Christmas Day transactions are more. That is your alternate hypothesis. That is your now alternate hypothesis. Yes. So now your business objective was also that one only, right? In your previous slide yesterday, like day before yesterday, I had shown this particular slide. What was your answer here? Did the Independence Day offer increase the sales or not? Did Bharat sales increased or not, rather than Bala's, right? So that is what is your business
Yes.
case. That is what is your business case.
Yes.
Now, going back to your RStudio. So again, I'm going to check for, sorry, not here. This line, t.test, same function. It is your sample2 sample t test. And here I'm not using anything. I'm just passing my X column, that is my Independence Day column. Independence Day column. Here I'm passing my Christmas column. Here I'm passing my Christmas column. And here, see, there I did not use my alternative, I removed it. So here, when it comes to this step, I should write my alternate hypothesis and null hypothesis. I forgot to write it. Now I'm going to write it. So what is the step? For null hypothesis, what should I write? Alternate hypothesis, what should I write? First offer is Independence Day offer. Second offer is Christmas offer. So what should be your null hypothesis for this step? Come on, try, give a try. If it is wrong, not a problem, plus give a try.
No action.
See, no action means what? No action is null. Always no action means null. Action means alternate. We wrote it like equal to, not equal to until this point. Now what should be your null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis for this step? You are checking for these two. I'll tell. So null hypothesis is nothing but Independence Day sales is less than or equal to Christmas sales. Or you can write alternate hypothesis is Independence Day sales is greater than Christmas Day sales. Got it? And remember one thumb rule. It is for your understanding. Always for your null hypothesis, fit to less than or equal to. Always for null hypothesis, fit it as less than or equal to, and for alternate hypothesis, fit it as greater than. You can change it accordingly, but if you keep on changing it, one or the other day you'll get confused and you'll do mistakes in real-time projects. So always make sure that less than or equal to is for null hypothesis and greater than is for your alternate hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis. Now I wrote it as Independence Day sales is less than or equal to Christmas sales, or Independence Day sales is greater than Christmas sales. Please be on mute. Bhupendra, please be on mute, Bhupendra.
Hello, Yogesh. Sure.
Yes.
This is Ratnesh.
Yes.
I have one doubt here.
Yes.
Variables of Christmas Day and Independence Day, then we come only to two conclusions. Suppose we have multiple variables. Suppose we have the
Once
options available for Republic Day and
Diwali
say
offer,
May.
Dasara offer.
Yeah, yeah. So at that point of time, there'll be a lot of variables, right? So, so my
See one thing, because that is the reason we have gone through this step, right? Didn't you go through this? Don't you remember this?
yeah. Discrete value is only two.
More
Sorry.
than 3. If it
Okay.
is 3 or more, Diwali,
Okay. Then we go.
Republic Day, Independence Day, Dasara offer, Christmas offer, New Year offer, any offers, you
Okay.
go for this test.
Okay. Got it. Thanks, Yogesh.
Okay.
Yogesh,
Yeah.
just confusing between. We came until the where test where the p-value we found that is greater than 0.05. So the
Yes.
average also both are equal, in the variance also both are equal. Then when finally we come to the test other t test, t dot alternate
Average is not equal. See here, average is alternate type. It was not equal, right?
in the t test.
It's
Okay.
Yeah, that is what we've tested, right? 2 sample
Okay.
t-test means that is your average. Average of Independence Day sales is not equal to Christmas sales. So it is because it is your less than 0.05. So it indicates that you should accept your alternate hypothesis. That is what we
Oh,
have done here. Please concentrate. Please concentrate. Okay. Now we should test it for alternate hypothesis. As I told you that it is your less than or equal to Christmas or greater than Christmas. That is your Independence Day. This is your Independence Day. So this is your null hypothesis. This is your alternate hypothesis. For null hypothesis, always remember one thing: whether you are an expert, whether you are an intermediate or a beginner, or whatever it is, stick to less than or equal to in your null hypothesis. Stick to greater than symbol in your alternate hypothesis. I can change accordingly. See, I can write it in my own way, because if you are working for 2 to 3 years, probably will directly write it as, hey, Independence Day sales is greater than Christmas, or Independence Day sales is less than or equal to Christmas. You can write it in this way also. But you'll get confused. So always remember, stick to this thumb rule for less than or equal to as H naught, greater than as alternate. This is as a thumb rule. Please write it in your bold words, saying that null hypothesis should be always with respect to less than or equal to, and greater than should be always with respect to your alternate hypothesis. Write it in bold letters. Okay. Now what I'm going to write is, I'm going to write same thing with respect to t dot test. Independence Day is your X column, Christmas is your Y column, 2 columns, 1 column, second column. And here, as I told you, alternate hypothesis is always greater. I've written it as alternative is equal to greater. Alternative is equal to greater. I'm going to run this line of code. After running this, you should get your null hypothesis based on your p-value, whether Independence Day is greater or Christmas is greater. You're going to get your final conclusion. So let me run this line of code. So now you got your p-value as 0.01211. Is it greater than 0.05 or less than 0.05? Is it greater than 0.05 or less than 0.05 is my question.
Less than 0.05.
Less than
Less than 0.05 means whether you should accept your null or alternate.
alternate.
Null hypothesis.
Yes.
Null hypothesis.
Null.
Null. Wrong.
Alternate.
See, it is not
alternate.
greater than, right, Rakesh?
No, it is less than 0.5, right?
If it is
What
greater
did I
than, you
tell
should
you?
go for null.
What
null
did I
out.
tell you? P high, null fly.
Sorry,
P is
alternate
greater
happened.
than 0.05. You should go for null hypothesis. P low, null go. Rakesh, just get it clarified. What did I tell you?
Oh,
This till now, whatever we have done is with respect to your p-value only, right? So if your p-value is greater than 0.05, you should accept your null hypothesis. If your p-value is less than 0.05, you should accept your alternate hypothesis.
then in the previous example, you gave that Independence Day less than equal to Christmas.
Yeah, that is your null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. I've written that null and alternate. What is that? I'm going to explain. That is next step, right?
Okay.
That is your Independence Day is less than or equal to Christmas is your null hypothesis. Independence Day is greater than Christmas is your alternate hypothesis, right? This is what I have written, right, Rakesh?
Yeah.
Yes. So now based on this p-value, you should select either of these two. What is your p-value?
P-value is 0.0121.
Is it less than or greater than? That is my question now.
Yeah, it is less than.
Yes. So it is less than 0.05 means which one will you accept? That is my question.
So first we should consider the P, is it?
Yes, obviously P only, right? Your decision should be based on your probability value.
Okay.
So based on this, which one will you accept? Your P value is 0.01. Is your 0.01 less than 0.05 or greater than 0.05?
Yeah, less than 0.05.
Less than 0.05 means you should accept your alternate hypothesis. What was your alternate hypothesis? What was your alternate hypothesis? Independence Day sales. Independence Day sales is greater than Christmas sales. Christmas sales. So yes, you came to know Bharat has scored more than Bala or Bala has scored more than Bharat. Now who is the topper now? Bharat. Right. So now Independence Day is having more sales than your Christmas sale. Christmas. So what is your conclusion? By seeing this, what is your conclusion?
So Independence Day offer is increasing the sales.
Yes. So you can say, go and tell your manager or a bank analyst saying that, yes, Independence Day sales has increased our sales. Independence Day offer has increased our sales. So that is what is your final conclusion. So you can write down these steps, all the steps, first step to last step, everything you should write it. And also, yes, Rakesh. Yes. Okay. So first step is you should check for your normality test. So in normality test, you're going to write two steps. What it is, one is null hypothesis and another one is your alternate hypothesis. In your null hypothesis, you will say that your data is normal. Data is normal. And alternate hypothesis says that your data is not normal. So how do you check? This is by what test? Shapiro dot test. Yeah, normality test. The function is Shapiro dot test. Based on this, you are going to get your p-value. Based on this, you are going to get your p-value. If your p-value is greater than 0.05, you should accept your null hypothesis. If it is less than 0.05, you should accept your alternate hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis. So you came to know that your data was following normal distribution. So you did not do any action because their data is normally distributed. So you went for next step. The next step was variance test. Next step is variance test. So in variance test, you wrote two steps. One is null hypothesis, another one is alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis says that both the variances are equal. Independence Day and Christmas variances are equal. And here you wrote it as both the variances are not equal.
What is that? Both the
Variances are not
So
equal.
if it is null, then both the variances are equal.
Yes. So if both the variances are not equal, then it says that your data is also not normal. Yes, if your data is not normal, then you should go for log transformation. I had shown you, right? I told you, right? We can do log transformation. So make sure that instead of using original column, you should take log of that original column. Then you are going to get your data as normal. I'll show you that when it comes to your real-time implementations. I'll show you that as well. With respect to your algorithms, I'm going to show that as well. Now, after this step,
what is that last sentence?
Yes.
Yogesh, what is that last sentence you wrote? I just missed that.
So if your data is not normal, you should do your data as normal. You should take some action.
Okay.
If your data is not normal, you should make your data follow normal distribution. Instead of using Independence Day directly, you can use log of Independence Day. If you use this log of Independence Day, then if your data is like this, suppose if your data Independence Day data is like this, if you take log of Independence Day data, then your data might follow normal distribution. That is your alternate hypothesis. That is your alternate. If your data is not normal, you are taking some action. So that action is nothing but your log.
But Yogesh,
Okay. Yes.
Go on, Bharat.
Use a log of
Yes.
are we whatever the data that we have?
Yes.
Something that we are masking with that data.
You are not masking. You are transforming. You are transforming. Yes.
If you transform
Instead of
the
using
data, the real information will be lost, right?
See, your real information will never be lost. That will be as it is. But you are taking log of that value. That's it. Your real, based on that original data only, you are taking this log, right? You are not losing your original data. Original data will be as it is. Here it will be Independence Day data only. You are taking log. So that is your new variable called as log independence. You're not masking, you're not changing your original data. You're not changing your original data also. And the next step is, after doing your variance test, you came to know that both the variances are equal based on your p-value. Then you should go for your two sample t-test, whether your average transactions of Independence Day is equal to average transactions with respect to Christmas is not equal or equal. You should check it out. So equal to means it is null hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis means it is not equal. So you should check in this using your two sample t-test. So for two sample t-test, you should use a function called as t.test. So you can use the t.test, x column, y column. You can close this and you can test it. After testing that, based on your p-value, you will come to know both are equal or not equal. In our example, Independence Day and Christmas offer, it was not equal, because we came to know that your p-value was less than 0.05. It was less than 0.05. So we took an alternate hypothesis decision. So alternate hypothesis says that your data with respect to average transactions was not equal. Not equal. So next step, what we did was we need to identify who has spent more, whether Independence Day offer sales as more or Christmas sales is more. We need to identify it. Based on this, I told a thumb rule that always null hypothesis should be less than or equal to, write it as Independence Day is less than or equal to 0. Christmas offer. And next step, I wrote it as alternate hypothesis should be always greater than. So alternate hypothesis should be Independence Day should be greater than Christmas. After writing this step, we gone to your RStudio and implemented a test called as toSample t-test by using a function called as t.test. So after implementing this t.test, we need to pass X column, Y column, that is Independence Day column, Christmas column, comma, you should use alternate. What is your alternative? That is nothing but greater, because you are using alternate. Yes.
Here you're using the two times the t-test. One is for identifying the probability of the thing. If it's less than 0.5, again you're using the t-test to go for the alternate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
And here you are writing it as alternative is equal to greater, because you are using greater test, because it is alternate hypothesis is greater than. So once you run this, you are going to get your p-value. So based on this p-value, you are checking whether it is greater than 0.05 or less than 0.05. So in our case, we got it as less than 0.05. So you came to know that Independence Day sales is greater than Christmas sales. So what was your conclusion with respect to this? So your analyst can go and tell to your manager saying that, yes, Independence Day has increased my sales rather than Christmas sales. So this year also we are going to give you more Independence Day offer rather than Christmas sales.
Sorry, Yogesh, can you repeat the last one, the Independence Day? After doing the t-test, how we identify the Independence Day sale is more than the...
Based on that function, we'll come to know the p-value, correct, Yogesh?
Yes, based on the t.test, we came to know that p-value. So before testing that, I told you, before testing that, I wrote this right. Please concentrate. H0 and HA, what did I write here? Independence Day sales is less than or equal to Christmas. This is a H0. Independence Day sales is greater than Christmas. Right? Yes or no?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. After running this, what is the p-value you got here? Last step?
0.012.
0.012. It is greater than or less than?
Less than.
It is, Ratnesh, it is 0.01211. Last step I'm asking here. Whatever is displayed on my testing. Yes, it says that your p-value is greater than or less than. So it is less than. So if it is less than, what is your this thing? P low, null go. Null go means you should accept your alternate hypothesis. What is your alternate hypothesis we have written here?
Independence Day sale is...
Yes, Independence Day is greater than Christmas offer. So you can go and tell your manager that, so this year Independence Day sales is more than your Christmas sales. So this year also we are going to give you more Independence Day offer rather than any other offer. Clear?
Yes.
Actually, generally we take hypothesis testing to complete in 2 hours. But only for toSample test, it took 1.5 hours. So make sure that you understand what is p-value, what is your p null, p low, null go, p high, null fly. In tomorrow's session, I will not be this much slow. I'll try to complete tomorrow 2 hypothesis testing, because today it was something like you don't know what is your p high, null fly, p low, null go, and you don't know how to write all those things. Tomorrow I'm going to use little bit fast and I'll try to complete 2 hypothesis testing case studies. Hypothesis testing case studies. So go through the videos once again. I'll be sharing probably next 1 to 2 hours. I'll be sharing. If it is converted, I'll share it in 2 hours or 3 hours. Please go through the videos once before your next session. It depends. See, it depends whether you are using R, whether you are using Minitab, whether you are using SPSS. It doesn't matter. See, ultimately the concept matters. Ultimately the concept matters. You can do it in any tool, but you should know how to use this R value, P value, all those things. See, it is not about experience. It is not about experience. See, hypothesis testing I've done using Dell Statistica. I've used Minitab. I've used SAS. I've used R. Which one to tell?
But yeah, Yogesh, so far we have seen R, but I feel this is only good.
You feel this is good. You feel this is good. You
Yeah.
can do it in Minitab, you can do it in SPSS, you can do it in Dell Statistica. Ultimately, whatever the projects, whatever the client will be giving you the access for the software, you need to do in that. Concepts will remain same, only the tool remains different. That's it.
Yeah, the function may be also changed, right? The tools
Obviously,
are
see,
different.
syntax means obviously it changes, right?
Syntax we can find it out over. So
If you just Google it, you'll get any syntax.
yeah, got it.
Okay. So
Yogesh, one more thing, Archipel. Okay,
yes.
Regarding this objective of the finding the which independent sale is greater or the Christmas sale, but without doing all this, also by seeing the data, we can find out based on the sale or sales data.
See, based on the sales data, also you can do it. But then, what is the use of doing data science?
No, I'm not asking what is use of.
No.
So what making the difference between normal looking the data by Excel also, if I see that some total summit and you can see both things, I can identify.
Yes.
How I want to make differentiate like this if I want, if I go interview, if I go somebody asks the question, no, why you want to do all these so many calculation? No? You can do just simple Excel and do the sum. You can find the which sales is better than the independent sales.
The data is
Why you want to do so many calculations?
Yes. Then what is the use of data science? See, that is more important. See, if you are doing, see, basic thing, you can do it in Excel only. You need not have to go to R only or Python only. You can do this average, this median and all using Excel only, right? So consider that you're having, see, now it is only 1000 records, 2000 records or 500 records. Consider that you're having 2 million records. Will you do it in Excel now? Can you fit your 2 million records in Excel? Simple question.
No, even Excel not found, but because some any other database also we can just do the calculate some function. You can use the sum and you can do it.
That is what my question is. Consider that your data is having with respect to more number of volume of data. Then we can do this in database. For example, database can be used for 2 million records. If it is more than that, then what you will do?
So you mean to say
In
that
Excel,
if using this or you can do more than any millions of data.
If it is up to 8 TB of data, you can fit into your R.
Okay.
If you go to Excel, directly you can put both the columns and you can just open your Excel data and you can just calculate it. Right. See, directly if you put, you're going to get your average value as 1637 and your year it is 1566. So you can tell that this particular column Independence Day offer is more year only, but now it is only 500 records. If you have 5 million records, you should do all those things.
Yeah, right.
That is the reason.
Okay.
Yes, 8 TB is the maximum R can handle. Python is slightly more than that also it can handle. But exactly, I don't know how many records it can fit, but it can handle up to 15 terabytes of data as well, Python. Okay, thank you all. Good night. We'll connect again tomorrow, same time, 7:30 p.m. Yes, I'll be sharing this. Yes.
No. Monday's class video I didn't got it.
Who is this?
Yogesh.
Okay, fine. Oh, you did not get.
Okay.
I'll just check it out. I'll just check it out and I'll forward.
Oh, okay, sure.
Fine. Thank you all. Good night.